was born in 1946, which was a year after the World War finished, and we were known as the war babies because there were so many of us. For instance, when we started school, they had to make more classes because you know, all the men who came back from the war, the soldiers, the sailors, just came back from the war, so all the women started having babies. Right, okay. So that created a big influx of babies for 45, 46. And I was born in my nan's flat because probably the hospitals were full. Okay. So I was born at home. I lived in Peabody in Southwark Street, and at that time we had 4 rooms, which would have been for my nan and granddad, my 2 uncles and my mum and me, because my dad had gone back to sea. So
why is that?
The marriage broke up.
Oh, okay.
We had 3 bedrooms and 1 living room. And I believe that's probably why we used the word living room, because that room did everything. It was a kitchen, it was a bathroom, it was a lounge, it was everything. Your toilet was outside on the landing, which you shared with other families, and your sink was outside on the landing. It was a great big sink about this big, with a cold tap over it, so we didn't have any hot water. And that again was shared with other families. So we had no inside water, no inside anything. Well, we had gas, because we had a gas stove, and we had electricity, but no running water in the flat.
What about in your kitchen? Did you not have a sink in there?
We didn't have a kitchen.
You didn't have a kitchen?
No.
Where did you do all your cooking?
In that room.
In the living room? Oh, so that was really the hub of the house?
It was the kitchen, it was the lounge, it was the bathroom, it was everything. Yeah. Wow. For 6 of us in that small room.
Was that quite normal then for families in the area?
Yes. The street door was straight into that living room, and nobody ever put a lock on. You could just walk into anybody's house and just open the door and you was in. Then my mum got married again, and she had another baby, and so we moved to a different flat on the estate, and again it was shared toilet facilities and the sink outside. And that's what it was the same for everybody. And it wasn't until I was 17 that we moved into another flat in the same Peabody, where we got a kitchen and a bathroom.
Well, so the first time you had a kitchen was when you were 17.
17, yeah.
Tell me a bit about just everyday life as you were growing up.
Well, it was lovely, I think, because there were so many of us, as I've said, so you always had a friend you could play with. My mum said that she used to take me to school every day, you know, when it was small, and she said some of the other mums used to see my mum down the square and just send their child down. So my mum said she was like the Pied Piper, walking across the road with all these children, because you know they all knew. Because my nan said to my mum, "You've got to take her every day," because we did have to cross 2 main roads to get there. It's Southwark Street and what's that other road? That's Southwark Street. So it'd be Southwark Bridge Road, right by Southwark Bridge we were. And yes, and my cousins who also lived in the flats, older than me, they said that after the war, if you walked out of our flats in Southwark Street, it was bomb ruins either side. You know, it was just flattened basically because it was a target area, because we was right by the river. Of course. The river flowed behind. It's now called Bankside. Okay. So it's like right around the corner from the Globe Theatre, which is now, and the Tate Modern. Yeah. So it was a big target then. So, but luckily Peabody got missed. They didn't hit Peabody. That's really nice. And I don't know where they used to go to get away from the bombs. My cousin said that my mum never used to go. She didn't want to go down the underground. That's what they used to do, go down the underground. I don't think I'd like that either. What, to the shelters? To the shelters, yeah. It was the underground stations. I know. And I've seen pictures. And I've seen pictures, and even trains used to go through. And there was all sleeping on the My primary school was just across the road, and it's still there now. It's in Union Street, and the playground is on the roof.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
That's unusual.
there's no green spaces around there. You know, it's very built up, and yeah, you used to go up the top, and there was the toilets up there as well. So when you want the toilet, you have to go up on the roof.
That's
And
unusual.
yeah, and it's got like railings all round.
Yeah.
It's still there, and yeah, we used to go out there and play. I mean, to us it wasn't unusual because we didn't know any different.
Yeah.
As I say, you know, we had great fun in the flats with the children, and oh yes, and we used to have a porter, and about 7 o'clock probably in the winter, he used to come round shouting, "Orley up, Orley up," and all the children had to go upstairs. We weren't allowed down in the square after 7 o'clock.
Really? Why is that?
Well, that's quite a good thing really, isn't it? You know, the noise of children,
After 7 o'clock in the evening?
Yeah.
You mean? Right, okay.
babies, you know, being woken up with the children playing. So, yeah, they wanted to clear the flat, they wanted to clear the square for 7 o'clock. Yeah, and we used to go up, you know. Except when we got older, you know, when we became like teenagers, he'd come round, Orley up, and we'd kind of pretend we've gone up and then come back down and just sit on the step and chat.
There was quite a strong community feel then, where you...
Yeah, because it was all families. Like, you know, I had my nan and granddad in there, I had my uncles, I had my great aunt and uncle in there, and most of my friends would have their nans and granddads in there, and aunts and uncles. So we knew everybody in every block, everybody. And there was about 10 blocks, because we're all in it together, you know, we were all kind of, nobody had anything, so no one was going to come and steal from you because you didn't have anything. We got our first telly when I was about 11.
What was that like?
Oh, brilliant. Because we used to listen to the radio before that, and I can remember, you know, the gas cooker was here and there'd be a seat in front of it, because, you know, it's so cramped. And I'd probably be on the floor and just sit and listen to the radio, or read a paper, not me, but them.
Yeah.
And then the television, well, we moved, because my aunt and uncle moved out, so we moved into their flat, and they left their television behind. So that was our first television, so my brother would have been about 3 then. So,
what kind of stuff was on the television back then? Were there many channels?
No. It's just been, I don't know, it might have only been BBC. Even ITV wasn't going then.
Right, okay.
And I'm not sure when these children's programmes started, like Muffin the Mule and the Flower Pot Men.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
I remember seeing those.
They were big ones. And but we didn't kind of worry too much about the television, you know. I mean, like I say, you know, we was always down the square. We had some roller skates. We used to roller skate. There was this whole square, and then there was this little bit that had this nice smooth bit of ground, and so we'd all be skating up and down this little bit, and the whole square would be empty, you know. It's like, because there was those old-fashioned skates that, you know, used to just put your foot in and tie the front bit up, and the bit round your ankle. But I mean, to us, everything was so new and so nice. I mean, we didn't get toys all year long. Christmas was a big thing to us, because that was the only time that you'd be able to have some new toys, basically. Because there was nowhere in those flats to have a bike or have anything of your own, really. You know, I can't remember having stacks of toys, really. So, but it was down the square all the time.
What did you do to pass the time then?
At home, I used to like comics. I'd sit and look at comics for ages. I used to get the Beano and the Dandy and the Jack and Jill. We never used to have homework from school.
Really?
No.
Oh, that was lucky.
Yeah. Well, nobody would do it really, you know. There was nowhere to do it. What are you going to do? You know, you were stuck in this little tiny flat.